readers, this week we are going to focus on nonfiction text features in our reading. And we're going to talk about why, and we're going to go over what each of these text features are and how they help us as readers. So your success criteria this week is that I can identify nonfiction text features and use them to help me understand what I read. Well, why do we want to do this? Because when we're reading, it helps us understand the nonfiction text that we're trying to read and make sense of. And it helps to make the text interesting and more fun. So this is how you're going to begin identifying the text features and using them. First, readers, with the text you pick out today, you're going to read the title and the book blurb and ask yourself, what is it mostly about? And is there a table of contents? And if there is, what is it mostly about? Then you're going to go ahead and read the headings and the subheadings on the page. Scan the whole page on the left and the right for all text features. Read all of these text features. And how are they helping you as a reader? And lastly, what did you learn about using all these text features? And what details or facts did you learn? So remember, nonfiction text readers, we read it because it has a purpose. Its purpose is to inform us, meaning it is real. It is for real, or it's true. It can give directions. It can give the news, facts, or someone's life story. So here is an example of some nonfiction text features. So what you see on this page is something about a leopard frog. It includes table of contents with different topics and page numbers. It gives us the title. Here it gives a photograph of a leopard frog as well as a caption. It gives a sidebar. Sidebar is extra facts or like did you know information. And then we have some extra knowledge and information, almost written like a paragraph that we're going to read. But within it, we see some text that is written differently. We see some bolded words that are standing out. So we call that bold-faced words. And we see some highlighted text. Some other text features that we see is we see a diagram. It's an illustration, not just a photo. And it has labels on that drawing. We will also come across maps. And in the back of our books, many of the books have glossaries and indexes. So let's take a closer look at these. A table of contents, it's found at the beginning of your book. It is a list of a book's sections and page numbers found at the front. This is found at the front of the book. Headings, so right here, day and night. So the title of a page or an article. It lets the reader know what that whole section is going to be about. But also, you will see subheadings. So here you see the heading, you'll also see a subheading. It is the title below the heading that breaks down the information even more. So here we see this whole text right here is about jaguars, but the subheading breaks it down further and it's going to talk about the hunting cats. Another text feature is the title page, so all about sunflowers. It's the page at the front of the book with the title, the author, and the publisher, those that published the book. Another text feature, as I mentioned above, is illustrations. You will see drawings. These drawings show something or someone what they look like. Something or someone what they look like. You will see fact boxes, sometimes also written as sidebars. It is extra information about a topic found in boxes on a page. You will see icons. An icon is a picture on a computer that opens a file or an app. You will see books that have hyperlinks, which means then they could be clicked on. You will click on words or a picture that link to another location, such as a website. So if you enjoyed reading about spiders, be sure to visit here. So it extends our learning opportunities. We will see comparisons, kind of like a scale comparison. This lets a reader know the size of something by comparing it to another item. A close-up's cool text feature. It's a picture that shows the details of something up close, almost like a magnifier. There's also another cool text feature called a cutaway. It's a picture that shows the inside view of something, almost like a diagram. There is a pronunciation key. This helps the reader know the way a word sounds, so they break it up into chunks. Another text feature is keywords. Important words can be seen on a page because they're bolded, they're written in italics, or they're written in color or highlighted. So you see those two words right on there as an example. You'll see a bulleted list. A list that uses dots called bullets to show information is another text feature you will see in your nonfiction books. You'll see different types of print. Important words can be seen in bold, italics, and color, but the writers also choose different fonts. There's an index and a glossary in the back of the book. An index goes in A, B, C order, but it's a list of key topics and their page numbers found at the end of a book. So instead of looking up a word, you're looking up a topic. So the glossary is a mini dictionary inside your book, and it's an alphabetical list of important words and their meanings found at the end of a book. So part of that glossary, we might see some guide words right here at the top. They're words on top of a dictionary or even a mini dictionary page to tell you which words are first and last on the page. Some final text features are photographs and captions. Photographs are those powerful images, those photos and pictures that are taken and made by a camera. A caption is a short description written by a picture that tells about the picture. So it's not just an extra fact. It's not a sidebar fact. A caption teaches you more about the picture. We might see charts and graphs. Information is organized in a visual way to make it easy to understand. Maps, a picture that shows where something is located. You might see a diagram with labels. So a diagram is a drawing or picture with labels. Your labels are words that tell about the parts of the picture. And lastly, you might see a timeline. This tells the order of events that take place. So let's look at an example at a nonfiction text. Its purpose is to inform and to teach us, and it is titled Little Kid's First Big Book of Animals. And right away, a text feature that we see right here is a table of contents, which is found at the beginning of the text. And that's important to remember because a table of contents almost allows you to predict, and it allows you to know what's coming in the book. And you can even jump around. If you don't start at the beginning, you could jump around and find the information that you want or need, but also the information you'd be most interested in. So the way this table of contents is broken up is that one section is on the grassland, ocean, desert, forest, and the polar regions. So not only does it tell me the sections, but I could also narrow it down to, let's say I want to go directly to the giraffes on page 14. So it gives me a habitat, but it also breaks it down into separate animals within those sections. On the next page, we see a photo. Let's try that yellow. Oh, there we go. That color stood out. So we have a photo taken with a camera here. We have a title. And even more so than just a title, we have a heading. We know that this section is going to be about grasslands. And below it, it says grasses are the main plants that grow in grasslands. There are not many trees here. So it's almost like a sidebar fact, but it almost can be seen as a caption as well because it's telling us more about this page, about this photo. On the next page, we see a lot of different things. We see some sidebar, some fun facts. So here's a sidebar, and it says facts, kinds of animals. And it's almost organized like a chart or a table. Then we have a fun fact here. We have a title, so we are reminded that this section is the grassland section. And then we have a subheading, which we're not just learning about the grasslands. We're learning something about something in the grasslands. And then we have different facts, and we have another photo. We have another photo, all of which help support and teach us about our topic. And below the picture, it says cheetah cubs climb on a tree. When a cheetah is up high, it can see far away. And so I see that these words specifically are describing this picture. So the text feature used here is a caption, so it's not just a sidebar fact. On the next page, it continued. Let's see if we see something different. We see a photo, and let's read the side to see if it's a caption or it's an extra fact. Here, it says cheetah cubs play games. I see that in the picture. They chase each other and pounce. I see that happening. Sometimes they pounce on top of each other. So it's teaching us more about what's happening in the picture. So readers, this text feature is a caption because it attaches to that photo. This fact here says cheetah comes from cheetah, a word in the Hindi language that means spotted. And we do see spots all over the cheetahs down here. So that is another fun fact. So we see lots of photos. Here's a different fun fact that we see attached. Can you count the number of times the word cheetah appears in this story? So remember, we always want to scan and read the entire page and use all of the text features to build our comprehension and to teach us more and more about our topic. On the next page, we have a new topic. We have a new heading. This one is on the green sea turtles, but we see a lot of the same text features. We see a caption that's teaching us more about the picture. We have a sidebar fact. We have a photo. We have another Sidebar, which is asking a question here. That one says, the hatchlings all dig out of the nest together, then they crawl to the ocean. They swim away and grow big and strong like their mother. And so up top we see 1, 2, 3. So almost like the life cycle. So the photos are showing us the sequence. This happened first, this happened second, this happened third in the life cycle of the sea turtle. So each of these text features helps support our learning and our understanding. And what I liked about this slide is it continues to show and point out our topic of our habitat. It gives us different examples and names of the different sea turtles. So here they are comparing and contrasting the different sea turtles. And they used a label on the photos to give us more information. And there was one right there too. Oh, forgot flatback too. So in the next book, what you see, just continue to compare and contrast the text features. On the front, we see a topic. What is it mostly about? And then we have, again, the table of contents at the beginning. That gives us an idea of each section in the story. So event 1 is weightlifting. Event 2 is fencing. 3, boxing. 4, archery. 5, wrestling. So going into the first section, I already see some text features. We have a photo that's taken with a real camera. We have endurance that is written in bolded words, in bolded text. And I see some of those other bolded words continued. In this photo, this is a diagram. A diagram includes, it's a picture, and it can be an illustration or a photo. And in this case, we know because it has labels. So you have barbell, steel bar, and the heavy disc. In the next page, we have a caption pointed out just a little bit differently. And so what they're giving us here is a close-up. So remember, that's another text feature, getting a close-up so we can see, learn, and study and get closer observations of the things that we are learning about. And so next to it, we would then call this the caption because it's teaching us about the close-up. Lastly, you have a glossary and an index. And what I wanted you to see here is here you have the ABC order of the words. You have ABC order of the words. So that is what they would have in common. Where they're different is this is like a dictionary. So a glossary, another name for it is a mini dictionary. It is giving you the meaning of those bolded words. So that very first bolded word we saw was endurance. And so it's telling you the meaning of endurance, which is a person or an animal's ability to continue doing something without giving up, even when it is very difficult. So they're showing their endurance. With an index, it is an ABC order, but instead it's organized by topics, which helps us do our research or helps us find things we really want to read extra about or learn about. So if I wanted to learn about elephants, in this book they do, then I would then go to page 7 and learn more about elephants. So remember, a glossary and index are both at the end of a story, end of a book. But one gives us the meanings and one gives us a list of different topics that we can find in the book. Okay, so lastly, readers, what you have here is we see one more nonfiction text. We're not looking at the whole story. We're just looking at two different text features that we didn't see in our others. And one text feature that you will see throughout your nonfiction texts are maps. And so they'll show us the locations, and you can see here that part of this map is colored, and it's different colors, so we learn the exact location of whichever thing we are learning and studying and talking about. So in this case, they're talking about the pandas. But also remember on a map to always search for the map key, so it'll give you more details about the colors, the places, and why that map is there. The other one I wanted you to see is you see a scale. And you see that they are comparing. So they're comparing life size to life size. They have even the measurement, so you can compare that, as well as in the other photos. So they're comparing and contrasting. So when we looked at, so the text feature, and they called that a comparison. The same with comparison is the word scale. So in this scale, you see the size and you see the size or just the differences. So you have the paw and you have the teeth. So this one would be a close-up, wouldn't it? Because then that was hard to see down here. So then they gave us a close-up, but at the same time gave us a comparison scale. So readers, now it is going to be your turn. You are going to check out some nonfiction books. You're going to set the timer and read with your class, read with your teacher. And if you're at home, you can use Epic, you can use RazKids, you can use any of your nonfiction books that you have at home. After you are finished reading, you are going to fill out this slide. You're going to tell us your book title. You're going to tell us your author. And for every text feature that you scan, use, and read, you're going to mark it off in what you saw in your nonfiction book today. If you did not see one of them, then you would not, then you would not mark that text feature. At the bottom of it, it says, choose 3 of the text features in the text and explain how each of them helps you as a reader to understand the information. So for example, on this page, we had a scale. So the text feature I saw was a scale. And because I don't have the exact book, let's say it was page 2, this text feature helps me as a reader, helps readers by seeing the actual sizes of the animals. And then I would choose the second one that I saw, a map. Text feature helped to see exactly where they live in the world in comparison to where I live right now. And then a third one, a couple times saw close up. And close up helps by allowing us to see details like color and texture. And lastly, readers, you will answer the question, what is the topic of this book? So in my last book that I read and browsed through, it was about pandas. And then I would list 2 things that you learned. So please note these are nonfiction books. So we want you to pick one super fascinating fact and share it, and then pick a second fascinating fact, and then write out fact 1, write out fact 2. You are welcome to type these in if you don't want to use the writing tool. If you do end up using the audio tool, we ask that you only use the audio tool. On this side, we need to see you write everything or type everything on your first piece of your text feature hunt. So you're going on a text feature hunt. Have fun and enjoy. Happy reading.